students and music, two completely random things that have no correlation with each other whatsoever. Or do they? In my eyes, these two go surprisingly hand in hand, and with reasons I'm about to present. My belief as a pre-service teacher has allowed my teaching aspirations to read, study, and occupy and watch all these students in their classroom and how they react to each other and their teacher. With this, conveners and tutors have told us that every child is different. I wholly believe this, and with that statement comes my comparison with students in music. Not all music is the same. Same goes for students. Some students can be seen as quite brash, colourful, and a little bit loud. Whilst other students are quiet, timid, and a little bit shy. But regardless of all these specific personalities and all the ones in between, every student should be able to have the opportunity to learn and be their loud or quiet selves through an education that is with love, passion, and expression.
A particular educational thinker that has shaped my views on teaching in a classroom is Paulo Freire. In Freire's world-renowned book, We Make the Road by Walking, a particular quote stands out to me that is essential to my philosophy. The teacher is an artist, but being an artist does not mean that he or she can make the profile, can shape the students. What the educator does in teaching is to make it possible for the students to make themselves. This details back to my description of music. Though he is talking about painting, Freire is still placing art into the description of teaching and underlays a meaning of aspiration and support within this quote. Freire also states as a belief that education and policy, as well as practice, can be used to transform society. This is through means of a strategy in a pedagogical organising that has evidently affected the educational system in the present today and will continue ultimately in the future. Paulo Freire as an educator has left a remarkable influence on young and experienced teachers' mindsets. Freire has also said by many to have empowered people, whilst highly being praised as furthering humanization. Due to his beliefs in education and the pedagogy created, Freire stated that anyone in any community can contribute to society. From Paulo Freire's work on education and the concepts he created comes another educational thinker whose work has been extremely influential in black feminism and my aim topic education. This philosopher was Bell Hooks. Hooks was complimented for being the reason expression and passion is evident in the classroom, especially from female teachers of all diversities and ethnicities. This is due to Hooks' action for women in colour within the classroom. Then along with this movement changing the curriculum came Hooks' impact to promote self-awareness and self-expression. Leading into expression, one of Bell Hooks' published titles, named Teaching to Transgress, Education as a Practice of Freedom, speaks about the multiple studies on what I just conveyed, as well as much more considering practices and defined concepts on her beliefs. In this book, it relays a quote that very much has heightened and formed a large factor in my own personal educational philosophy. As a classroom community, our capacity to generate excitement is deeply affected by our interest in one another, in hearing one another's voice, in recognizing one another's presence. This quote from Hooks very much encapsulates my pre-service philosophy through its means of expression and passion within the classroom, which should be a major factor in school's curriculum in the present day. Hooks, as an educational philosopher, is seen as someone who pushed education forward due to her belief in a pedagogy that sustains teaching for all races, whether it be for a student or for a teacher. This concept would create an expressive and a passionate classroom, willing to learn.
To round up all this information led to the knowledge of such educational thinkers as Paulo Freire and Bell Hooks, whilst also concluding my own beliefs in education, is that my philosophy of what teaching should be leads back to my initial representation of education, which is my comparison between music and students. Children, whether it be primary or secondary, are all uniquely different in size, shape, and importantly, personality. This goes directly in context to music. There are genres that are loud and vibrant, whilst other sorts of sounds can be intimate and shy. But regardless of the music itself, all is considered to be equally as important and all showcase their qualities and positive differences. From this talk of qualities, a particular journal article speaks on new ways of educational thought and expression practiced through love. Janisky and Lewis state that love is the essential concept in teaching and that it elevates students. This expression does elevate a student's morale and creates a bond which leads the students wanting to learn, therefore ultimately making the student the best they can become.